Can we like start a new tradition around here on this channel that like Fridays are for arguments. Fridays are for civil debates. We're not gonna get testy. We're not gonna throw no punches like this guy might have. Just normal debates. So today we're doing another one of those Let's Argue videos. Of course, inspired by Anthony Fantano, the internet's busiest music nerd. If you like music and you like the idea of like civil arguments, I'll put a link in the description to one of his videos where he inspired this entire series here on this channel. Now, basically, I tweeted, I'm doing another Let's Argue video, so tweet me some NBA opinions and I'll make a video arguing with the best ones. 580 replies so far. So you guys always kill it on the Twitter. And a lot of the stuff that I see here is stuff that I agree with, so we may have to save those to the Let's Agree version of this. But I had to pick the ones that I disagree with so we can argue. So let's get to the very first. Did I mention that these are all like my personal opinions? So if you don't agree, that's cool. All right, so Christian says the Grizzlies will easily make the 6-7 seed, and one person agreed with him with one like. Obviously, this is in the video for a reason, because I disagree with this. Let's take a look at the current standings. So here we are at the standings. Can the Grizzlies make the playoffs? For sure, they can. But Christian said they're going to easily make the playoffs. Ain't nothing easy in this Western Conference. The Thunder are 0-4. Now, honestly, that 0-4 start may come back and bite them later. Not saying that they won't make the playoffs, but they probably won't be a top seed because this league, this conference is going to be so competitive that them losing 2 games to 2 teams they shouldn't have lost to early in the season may come back and bite them. I don't think the Grizzlies are going to easily make the playoffs. They could make it, but it ain't nothing easy. And right now they already got a JaMychal Green injury. I literally just got the update that said Chandler Parsons is out for a week. I don't know if that matters too much. But regardless, nothing is going to be easy, especially with them when they struggle with their health year in and year out. There are a lot of teams here that are playoff quality teams, and some of these teams will not make the playoffs. So, Grizzlies seem like one of those teams to me. Trent says the NBA should add a 4-pointer like the Big Three / the Globetrotters. I disagree with this, and I think a lot of people like this idea, but personally, I don't like the idea as much. If it happened, cool, I'm fine. It's not like I'm gonna stop watching basketball if they did it, but personally, I just don't think it's necessary. Like, the reason they would add a 4-point line is to increase the entertainment factor of the NBA. The NBA in 2018 this season has been the most entertaining start of a season I've ever seen, and that's mostly because we got teams dropping 140 points a night. Stuff like that. The 4-point would be so teams can fill up the stat sheet even more, but we're already filling up the stat sheet so much that we don't need a 4-point line. If a team is down by 4 with 10 seconds left, it's a GG, brother. You lost. And adding that 4-point line kind of gets rid of that. So if they did it, sure, I guess it'll be fine. But personally, I'm not a big fan of the idea. So I'm going to say, nah, do not do that. Matthew says Nikola Jokic went from underrated to super overrated. And 4 people agree with this. I'm not one of those people that agree. No. I mean, this is a Let's Argue video. When we talk about Nikola Jokic, we say that he is an elite center in this league. There's no arguing that. He is an elite center in this league. If we are ranking centers, Joel Embiid is probably number 1. And who's number 2? Who's the competition? Karl Anthony Towns has been bad this year. Al Horford is an underrated center, but I don't know if he's the second best center in the league. I don't think Rudy Gobert is the second best center in the league. We can't put DeMarcus Cousins in there because he hasn't played this season. Jokic has been the second best center in this league, or you may even argue that he's first, and I wouldn't even be mad at you. See, the thing that Jokic is doing this year that he didn't do any other years is that he's actually playing a little bit of defense. Like, we all knew that he was an elite offensive player, one of the best passing big men we have in this league. He has the ability to hit the 3, the mid-range, or take you down in the post. There's no flaws or close to no flaws in his offensive game. But the big thing about him and his team is that they don't defend and he doesn't defend. But this year, he's been so much better on pick-and-roll defense. And you see that because his teams are stopping. Like, last night was the first time his team has given up 100 points this season. And that means a lot because teams are scoring so much in this 2018 season so far. He's not overrated. I can't say he's overrated. He's one of the best passers. He's just so versatile on the offensive side of the ball that every NBA team would just love to have him. There's nothing overrated about it. Mr. Flores says Kelly Oubre Jr. is being wasted on the Wizards. He is truly being slept on. Y'all know I don't like that slept on term. He is a baller. Move Otto to the 4 and put Morris onto the bench. Listen, Mr. Flores, I agree that Kelly Oubre is a baller. Coming out this season, he has been on fire. But I don't think it should start. Their combination of Otto Porter and Markieff Morris has been working. Markieff is having a career year so far. He's shooting like 55% from the field. You want to bench that? One of the games that they won, that game against the Portland Trailblazers, he was the reason. He was the best player on their team that night. Better than John Wall that night. Better than Bradley Beal that night. And you want to bench him for that? He's been balling. And I think that Otto Porter and Kelly Oubre are kind of a repetitive player. They're both great D and 3 guys. And Markieff Morris brings a little bit different, something different to the table. I think Kelly Oubre is great coming off the bench as a 6th man. He's been great. One thing I keep stressing to people is that you don't always have to put your best players on the court in the starting lineup. Sometimes one of your best players got to come off the bench for the flow of the offense and for the flow of the team. Kelly Oubre is that right now. I like it. And I think he's about to get paid. I think he's a restricted free agent this offseason. I think he's about to get paid, and good for him. But right now, I don't think they should change up anything in their lineup. They just have to, one thing they should change, they got to wait for Dwight Howard to come back because they're getting out-rebounded like crazy. But he's not being wasted because in the minutes that he is playing, I think he's playing 27 minutes a game, those are great minutes per game. He's making the most out of it, and he's one of their quality pieces. So I don't think there's anything being wasted right there. If we talk about players being wasted, Can we, Brad Stevens, you are an amazing coach. I would argue you are the best coach in the league right now. No disrespect to Pop. But if we're talking about coaches in the league right now, not all time, I would put Brad Stevens number 1. But can we draw up some plays for Jaylen Brown, please? I watched him play, and the man just sits in the corner so much. And he has so much potential to be a good offensive player. Can we just run some plays for him, please? EJP said the Celtics are the deepest team in the league and are the only actual threat to beat the Warriors. I agree with the first half that the Celtics are the deepest team in the league. That is a fact. But I don't think they're the only threat. Are people not talking about that team up north? The Toronto Raptors are a very, very, very good team. And honestly, I think they match up well against the Warriors. I don't think they'd win a series, but I think they match up well. Kyle Lowry, a quality defensive point guard, put him on to Steph Curry. The shooter guard, Danny Green, he's been chasing Klay Thompson around for years. Klay Thompson does have his games, but you get what I'm saying. Kawhi Leonard, the best defensive player we have in the league if we're talking about the perimeter, on KD. Pascal Siakam, sure, he can guard Draymond. And at the center position, they got Serge going against Damian.
20 minutes later.
Jones. I don't really know what took me so long to remember that man's name. But even when Boogie comes back, Serge is okay enough defensively that he can maybe hold his own. Again, I'm taking the Warriors in that series, but the Toronto Raptors match up well. Do we forget that the Toronto Raptors had the best defense? Not the best defense, the best bench in the league last year. And their bench unit didn't really change too much. They got rid of Jakob Poeltl, but now they got Jonas Valanciunas coming off the bench. They are a very deep team as well. So let's not say that the Celtics are the only threat. The one series I'm really looking forward to is that Celtics versus Raptors series, whether it be in the second round of the playoffs or in the Eastern Conference Finals, whatever. That series is going to be dope. And let's not ignore Toronto. James said, Kevin Love was never such a good player. All right, James, slow down. And he also says he had great stats in Minnesota because he was the only guy there, but he was never able to carry them to the playoffs. James, before we start breaking down your statement, I love the profile picture. I got it, man. I'm, Space Cowboy too. But anyway, you kind of contradict yourself in this second statement. He had put up some great stats in Minnesota, true, because he was the only guy there, but he was never able to carry them to the playoffs. Only elite players legitimately carry teams to the playoffs. Only elite players. Nobody has called Kevin Love an elite player. We always call him an all-star because he is. He's been an all-star. But think about it. How many players have legitimately carried a team to the playoffs? Elite players. And Kevin Love is not elite. But your statement that he's not such a good player is ridiculous. Go look back at those rosters in Minnesota. He had no help. I mean, you even said it yourself. He was the only guy there. Not many people are carrying that team to the playoffs. Only the elite of the elite. And Kevin Love is not elite, but he's pretty good. This year, He's been struggling, but that makes a lot of sense. You go from option 2 to option 1 in just a split second. Michael says DeJounte Murray be the next Kawhi Leonard. His heart and drive to get better every day will make him not just an elite defender, but an elite player in this league. Michael, you must know that I am a big DeJounte Murray fan, but I think we went a little bit too far. Kawhi Leonard is like a top 3, top 4 player in this league. I don't see that as DeJounte Murray. One thing that Kawhi Leonard, or why Kawhi Leonard is so valuable and why Kawhi Leonard is so special, is because he's versatile and he can guard almost any player in the league. DeJounte Murray will struggle with that because of his frame, because of his size. He's a point guard. I know he's 6'5", but his frame is thin. He's not guarding the Kevin Durant. He's not guarding the LeBron James of the league. So the reason that Kawhi Leonard is so special is that he can guard anybody. DeJounte Murray can guard anybody. He can guard the elite guards for sure. When we get to those small forward, power forwards, he can't do that. I'm really rooting for DeJounte Murray, though. I can't wait for him to come back from his injury. I know it probably won't be this season, but I was really high on him going into this, and it sucks that he's out for the year. Eagles fan says Westbrook is a top 5 PG of all time and a top 15 player of all time. This ain't it. Nope. This ain't it. Nope. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave it a like. I always have fun arguing with you guys, civil arguments. If you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, just leave it in the comment section below. Give me your own opinions that maybe I can go out and agree or disagree with in a future video. If you like it, leave it a like. It helps Team No Overtime grow. We are working on some stuff behind the scenes that I cannot mention just yet. But if you're a fan of Team No Overtime, you're going to be a fan of a lot of stuff that we have coming up. Shout out to everybody that finished the video. Thank you so much. Peace.